Welcome to Twin City Talk. Today we're talking to Chantae, Reynolds, and Justin Kankula. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
They own JK Woodworked Creations.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Okay, so JK Woodwork Creations is a woodworking and laser design business. So Justin is in charge of the woodworking. He does everything from now art sculptures to furniture made out of wood. And then I have the laser side of the business where I do things from make earrings using a laser machine to now doing mobile paint parties.
Do you have an actual store? Do you sell anywhere?
So we have an online website, website online, and then for the mobile paint parties, we just go to different businesses around Winston-Salem and Forsyth County and host them.
What are some ones you have coming up this spring?
So this Sunday, actually, we're going to be at Fiddlin' Fish, and we're going to be doing a spring paint and sip. And then also on the 23rd of March, we'll be at Brewery Du Bois. We're doing, Vicky Vassar has created a Winston-Salem Skyline project. And so we're going to be doing that. It's basically like Old Salem, the skyline of Winston. What else is in there? And the art park. And so we,
The Shell Station.
yeah, the Shell Station. And so it's all those images put together. And so we paint each part. And so what makes it different with my paint and sip parties is that it's made out of wood or wood material. And so we paint each section and then glue them together. So it's not like your typical canvas paint and sip party. We make it different.
So what's the difference as far as painting on wood versus canvas?
Canvas is flat and kind of boring. And then mine are actually it's kind of like a puzzle. So you paint each piece and put them together. Cool. And so we usually do door hangers, and we've been on shelf sitters. And then we actually, with Vicky's design, we actually did it early fall. Caladium next door actually saw the image. Was like, hey, can we change the first part of it and make it the Caladium building? So Vicky worked on that. And so we actually had an event at Caladium where they offered it to their members. So we just paint each section and glue it together, and so they can prop it on their shelf or desk or wherever.
What made you guys start this business?
It's very cool, by the way. Yeah, I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, it's,
paint on wood, putting it all together.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah.
That's
Also
really
going
cool.
to the local breweries and wineries and get out. People get to get out and experience a little bit of Winston, especially people who just moved here. So it's pretty fun for them.
Yeah, and it's cool because a lot of people's like, oh, I never heard of this place. I'm just they usually go to the same place or just go to the store and get something, and so it just gives them a chance to explore. And I have a couple of people who come to every single one of my events. Cool. So we just have a small little following, and I'm surprised it's just growing.
Yeah, and we got started from, well, we were part of Mixer Community Service, and it's a shared space, you know. So when I was doing like charcuterie boards and everything else, I wanted them engraved, and I'd have to call her to come work the laser machine because technology is not my thing. I know I'm an 80s baby, but that's the technology thing. I'm just, emails. I don't check emails or even use my phone that much,
I want your lifestyle. That's
it's laid back, chill, So she was coming to put the JK Woodwork logo on all of my kitchen accessories and stuff like that, and it got to the point where she started venturing off doing the earrings and everything else like that, and signs and stuff. So that's where it took off at. We ended up. I was like, man, if we get our own laser machine, we can sit here and do this at the house, and crank out a little bit more material. And that's what happened. We ended up getting our own machine and got one at the house, and still go down to Mixer a lot. We're heavy at Mixer, so still go down there and participate and give our time and help out and stuff like that. So yeah.
Did you make those earrings that you're wearing?
Actually I did.
Because they're pretty.
Yeah. And then that's a new class that I'm coming up with that's kind of hopefully in April.
It's very
an
intricate.
earring bar.
That's cool.
It's really
Yeah. So I'm going to teach because everybody, I have a couple of people I only do earrings for vendor events, and I haven't seen in a while. I need earrings, so I'm gonna start an earring bar, so they can come and make their own earrings and put them together. So that's a new thing that's coming out.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. She's a full-time teacher too, so.
Where do you teach at?
I'm at Appalachian State Academy at Middle Fork. We're located in Walkertown, so I'm a full-time teacher and a doctoral student with Appalachian State as well. So my hands are full.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you sleep or no?
I try.
He doesn't.
Somebody gives me a hard time every time I go to sleep. Like, Lord have mercy.
Well, she's sleep by 9 o'clock, and I'm a night person. I'm a night owl, so
Here.
yeah. I take my son to school 8 o'clock. Get back home. I'm in the bed. I mean, my business is building. That's my life. So I've got a full wood shop in our basement too as well. That's
Right.
my shop, and it's 45 by 22 shop. I got everything I need. So I can wake up anytime or get an idea. I can just go down there and do it.
Or at night.
Yeah. So I sleep in the morning. So, yeah, but she'll come home, take a bath, and get in the bed and get on the computer, do some work, and she's out by 9 o'clock. I'm like,
Nobody asked you
You
for no
gonna sleep
detailed
already?
life.
So don't try and reach her after 9 o'clock.
Don't
No.
send
She's
me
not gonna-
that.
Technically, it's not 9 o'clock. It's like 11:30. I think that's good.
Fine, 9:30, 9:45.
I am awake more than my friends are. Like, I can't text them. They already sleep.
Are either of you from Winston?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Winston.
yeah,
What about
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
So what do you guys love about Winston?
I love this, even though I want to say it's not a big city, but it's a small town, but it feels like a big city. It just this food we're foodies. We're both foodies. Just trying new food places and just seeing how Winston has grown.
I'm a brewery foodie guy. Yeah, so brewery, food trucks, love it. But what I love about Winston, what got me to love Winston was this woman right here.
There you go.
So yeah. When I first came down here, I was 19 years old, and young, living a little fast life. Bachelor, and ran into this woman, and I ended up staying. I was only supposed to come here for 2 weeks, 2 week stay, just a 2 week vacation. Ended up staying.
Sounds like there's a really good story.
We'll have to see you later.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more than that. It's a long story for me on my part. Yeah.
It's interesting. You said it's a smaller town that can feel like a big city.
Oh yeah.
And whenever we ask this question, we get the most interesting responses because it depends on the person. But some people will say it's a big city that feels like a small town, and some people, you're from Detroit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I look on your face like,
Right.
but a lot of people that come from
91st largest city in the country.
87th.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Unless that changed.
It's changed.
Last year it was 87. I guess we lost a couple spots.
Yeah.
Wow.
Places grew. But yeah, most people don't know that we're top 100 largest cities in the
Wow.
country because you think to yourself, you go to Detroit, you go to
Yeah.
Chicago, you go to New York, and you're like, well, Winston's not like a biggest city. But if you take a look around, what's really interesting is that some states, their biggest city is smaller than Winston is. So especially some of the Midwestern, you get elsewhere, that area, or close to it. But it's always interesting to hear people's perspective on that. And it depends on what your background is.
Yeah.
But everybody always combines the same things when they say that there is a charm and a feel to this town that places that are larger or decent size don't have. So that's cool to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. And I lucked up to fall into a lot of family-oriented groups of people here. I'm real family-oriented, I'm like, one best friend. You're my best friend forever. After I meet you for 30 minutes.
You're all peopled up. We're good.
Yeah. One spot. I got one spot to go to. I take the same route home every day. So
Well, you're
Winston-
definitely a Winston guy then. That's not a Detroit dude, right?
Yes.
No, yeah. So I was 19, so I've been here 24, going on 25 years. So yeah, I've adapted pretty well. Everybody knows me here. Like, yeah, everybody knows me. It keeps me in line. Yeah, I can't get in no trouble.
Yeah, he was at
no
Wiseman
room
and
for
everybody was like,
A self-aware man.
your husband's over here, and where you at? I said, you at, you at, I text him, I said, oh, you at Wiseman? He's like, how you know?
So, what are some of the places you frequent a lot as far as restaurants? Since you mentioned being foodie.
I love Down Express.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite spots to go to.
Thai
Thai Harmony.
I mean, yeah, we're there 3-4 times out of the month. I was just at What the Fuck the other day, me and my son having lunch. So yeah.
Have you been to his new spot, Zia's Asian Tapas?
No, I just asked him about that when he went. Where is it located at, actually?
It's where Zia's used to be, over on Spruce Street.
Okay.
It was Zia's, then it was Winois, then it was Spruce Street Tavern, then it was Dom's, and now back to Zia,
Oh, wow.
who owns What the Fuck.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, in technology, I'm not on the looking at what's new and stuff. I'll get out and just travel. I'll drive by something. I'm like, never been there before.
That's how I do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just go in there. Yeah.
So you said that you used to do charcuterie boards and stuff. Do you not do that anymore?
I still do it, but my main focus is my sculptures now.
Okay.
I've always been an art guy. I love art. Especially with my sculptures. So they're all abstract. So I can just go in there and just create something. I could take some scrap pieces of wood and just create a sculpture. And I'll just start getting into it, and people will walk by and just say, man, that looks good, man. What what was your idea, this and that? And really, I'm like, I just had this vision. I just seen this block of wood, and I just started drawing on it and started cutting it out. And I was like, man, it looks good, And they'll start making, shapes out of it. Man, it looks like a baby in the womb. It looks like this. Man, it looks like breakfast. I'm like, okay,
Jesus.
yeah. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. So that's my passion for right now, and getting into designing like media consoles and record player credenzas, because
That's cool.
I'm a music guy too. I love my music, record players. So
Amen, brother.
yeah, I love my music. Should tell you, I'm up all night listening to my
Yes,
record
he is,
players
all night.
all night. I got some
Know
old
somebody that could
Advent
soundproof a
speakers,
room.
old Yamaha receiver, and just crank it up and go. But yeah, our art's my thing. The shoot, and actually, what got me into sculptures and the art, like wall art and stuff that I do, is that some of the charcuterie boards that I used to make, well, that I still make, but they were real intricate in design, and I would sell them, and people would walk up and say, "Man, how much are these? $85. Man, that's way too low. It's like I can't even put my food on this. I can't serve no food on this. I'm gonna set it on the table in my room or put it on the wall, hang it on the wall." And I was like, okay. And I didn't think much of it. I'm a real humble guy, and I didn't think much of it at the time. But I started to look at some of my stuff, going back in my phone and looking at pictures, and I was like, man, that's really good stuff. And I look at other people's stuff, and my stuff was a little different, So that's how that's evolved. I first started off building houses, so I've always been woodworking, trim, tile, framing houses. So yeah.
Yeah, I was asking about the charcuterie board thing because I'm not looking for a charcuterie board, but I am looking for a new cutting board.
Yeah, cutting boards, charcuterie boards. Yeah, do it all. Yeah, I'll hook you up.
I might have some opportunities for you.
Okay. Okay.
Where do you guys find your inspiration from for your pieces?
My inspirations will be from just living a hard life. And what I mean by that is is the inspiration of picking up a piece of wood, and it inspires me because I can just be free, you know. Don't have to worry about nothing within that time of me creating something, even to a cutting board. Just, you know, just having fun doing it. You know, I could be doing a lot of other things, you know. And that's my inspiration, just to be free with the work. Yeah.
I was thinking when she asked that question, probably for you, I'm not sure for you, but for you, probably the inspiration comes from the material, the source material.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
like, well, I see this. Some people see driftwood.
All day.
I
Yeah.
see a recreation of the lovers statue or something. You know, I've never worked with wood like that, but I
Okay.
could certainly see, you know, the inspiration coming from the source material.
Yeah. And
Let it guide you to where it's going.
right. And I'll tell you, when I was at Mixer, when she got me, because I hurt my back in construction. So I was down for a little while. And I had a real hard job. I was up and down the East Coast doing handicap accessibility work in a fairly good company at the time. And running it on my own, you know. And I stayed out of town for like a month at a time, and I came back and I told Chantae, I said, I just started crying and said, I can't. You know, we just had our son. He was about 3, Jameson. Jameson was about 3 years old. And I come back and he's talking, hey, Dad. And I'm like, huh? You know. So got in the Mixer and I was there for a couple days and I started doing the cutting boards. And so I didn't know much about wood. I knew about wood, but getting into like Paduke, Purple Heart, you know, Black Walnut, Cherry, Bacote, and Yellow Heart, and all these different species of woods. And at the time, I got there at a good time because it was around Christmas. So everybody was coming there making cutting boards for their families and everything. And there was tons of scraps. So there's a scrap bin at Mixer. And, you know, Alan, he told me, he said, hey, man, you know, you can get these scraps. You know, if you see something, you know, just grab it and you can make stuff out of it. And I started making these real intricate cutting boards out of scraps. Everybody's like, man, where you getting this wood from? And I was like, I just scrapped it, you know. And one day the guy came in there, Daniel Butner.
Who made this table, by the way?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was here when he made this.
Yeah.
I was there when he made this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure enough. Yeah. So Daniel, that's my best friend. Daniel's my buddy.
Yeah.
And I took some of his scrap pieces of wood that he had some cutoffs from some cutting boards and from some couple other people. And I just started, you know, matching, just piecing them together and just creating something, you know, from out of my imagination. And people were real inspired by it. Even with Daniel, he's real inspired by my work, you know, what I can take and just, you know, make something out of nothing, you know, just scrap. So, yeah.
They started calling him like the sustainability of wood. So he just take people's scraps. And even today, like Aaron Gibbons and other people would give him like, hey, man, I got these leftover scraps. You want them?
Yeah, most of all my sculptures, even I took some cutoffs of which I just recently sold a piece to the president of the Arts Council. Her and her husband bought 2 pieces, and one of the pieces was from Daniel's. It was an end grain table that he made. It was like the Cupid. Remember the old Cupid design? Yeah, and he had one end was right, and one end of the table was like that, and it got left outside in the sun, and it cracked up, and he just was like, "You can have it." You know, he threw it in the back. He was kind of, you know, mad. He just threw it out the back, and it broke up in little pieces. And I was like, okay. And I took little pieces.
Well, this table happened that way because, you know, there's limited space over there. So he put it outside, he hit the top, and then it got rained on.
Yeah. So I took some of the pieces, and he came back. And I was actually not intimidated. How can I say it? But actually felt sorry because I made this real nice sculpture out of his table, and I was like, hey Daniel, you know those pieces that, and I wanted to show him so bad, you know. It's like, you know the table that got messed up? He was like, yeah. With a cigarette hanging out, look here. And I said, Daniel, you know, check this out. And he was like, oh, that's nice. And I took it and I pieced some of the pieces together, took it on the lathed it out, and created a base for it and everything else. And yeah, it was really cool. Really cool.
That's super
That is
cool.
cool.
Man. I love
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm curious. You get more inspired by seeing something that's, you know, either dilapidated that could be rebuilt, or you know, you find old parts and pieces that are kind of cast aside that you could put together, or starting from scratch with something all new. Which is your?
All three.
Oh yeah.
All three.
All of
yeah.
it.
All three.
I asked this, you know,
Yeah.
I like to build, and so you know, it's more like houses and decks and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. I love some woodworking, but I don't have any of the equipment for it or whatever. But
You need to check out Mr.
you said all this, and I'm going, man, like I need another distraction in my life. Although that sounds amazing, I'd probably have to get down there. So my thing is, you know, if I see something that's beautiful, but it's like falling apart, whether that's a car or a house or you know, you name it, like even like a piece of property that's just kind of sitting there and you're going, oh my gosh,
Rehabbing, yeah.
the things that could be. That's I love that so much. So it's cool listening to you say like this old, you know, sun bleached, weather torn thing. This guy's like, yeah, I'm done with it. Like, yeah, bud,
Yeah.
what that could be, and that's super cool. I love that.
And a lot of the times with a lot of my art, see, I do like texture sculptures too. So a lot of it is carving. And I leave a lot of textures in there because I'm real like sensory. You know, I love to touch, feel, smell. You know, stuff and a lot of my stuff is for that. I created for that. It was created by me. 'Cause that's, you know, what I like. So I create the art that I like. And that's the thing is with some of the scraps and stuff that I get, I will make something out of it, but I won't recreate the surface or change the color of it or something like that. I'll keep it to how I scrapped this, how
How it originally was.
how it originally was.
Keep its
yeah.
character.
I
Yeah.
kept it the same character. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if something did have a warp or something, I would put it somewhere on there, create this piece to where it shines out.
Yeah,
And
like
make
integrates
that
into it.
the art piece
Yeah.
of it. Something that was once like, ugh, you know, I made it real pretty. It's like, yeah, that's the same thing you were saying that was ugly yesterday. You know?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people are doing that with cars, like old, like
Yeah.
rusted
Put the rust
cars.
back
They're
on,
like, you
yeah.
know what? No, keep the patina.
Keep
Yeah,
it.
keep it. I love. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
I was gonna say a lot of people who come up to his art and like, can I touch it? Like, yes, he wants people to touch and feel.
Check it out, touch it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
How
Yeah.
can people find out more about your business and these pieces of art?
They can follow us on our website, jkwoodworkcreations.com, and then we also on Facebook and Instagram at JK Woodwork Creations.
And you said people can order online too.
And they can order online.
And all your classes are listed
Yes,
on all that
all my
stuff?
classes now are listed on our website and mostly on social media too.
Well,
So cool to meet you guys.
thank you guys
Yeah,
so
this
much
is-
for
this is awesome.
coming.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Yeah, so on my side, so I'm working on a bigger. Her business is pretty taken off, you know. She's it's all under control. It's taking care of itself, you know. Mine, like with the last year, I kind of hit a plateau because it was more of a learning thing for me all last year, especially with the sculptures and stuff. They're a little bit more time consuming.
Yeah.
They're bringing a lot more money, because you know it's a little slower. So this year I'm like in the third trimester of this baby, you know. So I've got a buddy working with my business plan, getting my stuff out there a little bit more. But I was always I take it easy, you know, go with the flow type guy, and I'm really appreciate that I've learned through the years. I'll be 44 this year, so I learned through the years to, you know, take your time, you know,
Right.
take your time,
Enjoy it.
get it right, and enjoy it. So, but this year I'm gonna be coming out with a lot more different sculptures, ideas that I have built up inside of me, you know, from last year. So it's gonna be great.
Look forward to
Yeah,
seeing that.
yeah. Especially
definitely.
I'm working on a project for Calabria.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I'm doing a STEAM wall. Science, technology, engineering, arts, math, and so it's going to be all like a sensory project wall.
Oh,
That'll be cool.
So it's going to be real cool, like
It's
feral
definitely needed,
fluid and
too.
stuff. Yeah. So it's going to be real cool. Yeah,
very nice.
yeah,
cool.
nice. Cool.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can find us on Twin City Talk on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you. The views and opinions portrayed by guests on this podcast are not necessarily those of the distributors and hosting companies. And if you love this podcast, that's great, but don't think about stealing it. Reach out to us and talk about the content because it is copyrighted.